160 is divisible by 2x. So that's the condition of the problem, and now we're presented with a quantitative comparison. What we want to determine is whether or not one quantity is greater than the other, they're congruent or equal, or we just can't determine the relationship based on the information given. Now the answer to this question is D, the last option here. You just can't determine the relationship. And here's why. Remember that when we're doing quantitative comparison problems, we always want to assess that condition of the problem. Because if there's a little plot hole in there or something that just doesn't allow us to find a solid conclusion, then chances are it's going to be D. It's going to be you can't determine the relationship. So watch this. The condition is, again, 160 is divisible by 2x. And quantity A is x and quantity B is 4. So there's no work needed to be done for quantity B, it's just 4. But now this is a little fishy here with the x, because there could be one or more possible values of x, or maybe none at all. So let's figure this out. Now, if 160 is divisible by 2x, well, let's think about it. What are the factors of 160? Because the thing is, 2 to the power of x, those are just powers of 2. So how many 2's do we notice in 160? So let's go ahead and write a factor tree here, and let's get this done. 160, I'll split that up into 2 and 80. That can be split up again into 2 and 40, then into 2 and 20, then 2 and 10, and then from 10, and sorry, this looks like a 2, let me erase that. And then from 10, that can be split up into 2 and 5. So notice how we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's, which means that it's divisible by anything from 2 to the power of 1, 2 squared, 2 cubed, 2 to the 4th, or 2 to the 5th. These are the 5 possibles in terms of the factors of 160 that are powers of 2. Now here's the thing. If it's divisible by 2 to the power of x and we want to know what the value of x is, well, here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we know that x lies between 0 and 5, inclusive. And the reason I included 0 is because 2 to the power of 0 is 1. 160 is divisible by 1. So here we are. Those are the possible values of x. Notice how 4 is right there. So if x was 2, then quantity B would be greater. But if x was 5, then quantity A would be greater. So because of that inconsistency, our conclusion has to be that we cannot determine the relationship based on the given information. Simple as that. And I know seeing a problem like this for the first time may not totally ring that bell. So with that said, it's important that we go back for understanding. Don't just watch the solution just to see if you're right or wrong. It's very important that you use these solutions as a method to test your own learning and reflect on your procedure. So keep up the good work and reach out to us if you need us.